Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today, another one of my 12 shots of golf videos. We're going to look at that player who's looking to break 100 maybe for the first time, and we're going to focus on your short game. And we're going to look at 4 particular shots. If you can start to do what we're doing today, you will definitely from inside 50 yards be playing better than a guy who's going to shoot 100, or a lady, okay? So this data is for both of you. It's all for every golfer. I think once you get inside 50 yards, the data remains consistent, whether you're really a male golfer or a female golfer. Okay, so what we're going to show you today, a little bit the data, show you a little bit of technique, but also we're going to give you a drill to help you achieve your goal with each particular shot. And I think it will make it easier for you to get the desired result that you want. So what we're going to start with is a 50-yard pitch. And let's give you the data. The important thing to understand from here, if you are a player looking to break 100, the goal from 50 yards is number 1, get it on the green. Because on average, you're going to take 3.5 shots to get the ball in the hole from here. And that might sound a bit strange, 3.5 shots, but that means if you had 10 goes from here, you're going to get down in 3 5 times, you're going to get down in 4 5 times. So it averages out at 3.5. And our goal is, can we start to get you closer to that 3, but at worst be 3.5. So let's look at the technique of this shot. And what I find with a lot of golfers is the tendency, as soon as we get here, we think, oh, I've got to hit it hard, I've got to force it. So they get over this shot, they get into it, and they're sort of forcing it back, and they're trying to hit it. They think, I've got to get the ball up in the air. They lean back, and then they top it along the ground. And all they see then is the ball just disappear over the other side of the green into a bush or something. It's not what we want to do. So the goal really, number 1, we're going to start with 2 thoughts here. Number 1 is we want a consistent rhythm and tempo. We want to feel as if the swing is staying the same throughout. And if you watch any of my videos, people pick up on the tempo of my swing. Mentally, when I'm playing the shot, I never feel that I am accelerating. I never feel I'm trying to hit it. Always feels to me the speed I go up, the speed I come down are staying pretty consistent. But what I know in physics is that gravity is fighting the club going up, but then it's going to help to accelerate the club as I come down, as long as I let it. So I mentally look at the shot and I feel all I'm looking to do to play this shot is quite an even tempo back and through, put the ball up into the air with, I've got a gap wedge here from 50 yards, and that's put it on the green around about 30 foot from the hole. Now, if you do that, you are going to comfortably break 100. You get into this position. You do the shot I did earlier where I topped it, the likelihood is now you're probably going to take 6 from here. So you play 2 nice shots down a par 4, you're 50 yards away and you walk off with an 8. That's why you're not breaking 100. We need to turn this into a 5, or at worst a 6. Okay, that's the goal. So here's our drill. This is going to stop you from that feeling of trying to force the shot. It's called the left foot, right toe drill. And it's simply that. What we're going to do, we're going to line up our left foot, so the instep of the foot is at the front of the golf ball. And then my right foot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back here, so I've only got the toe to balance me. And this is a really good drill to work a little bit on your posture, because it gets you feeling like you go onto that front foot, you get nicely over the ball, you get this lovely hang of the arms, which again can swing. So it can do 2 jobs, this drill. But the main thing is, if you now get over the ball and you now go to hit it hard and lean back, you're going to fall over, you're going to miss the ball. So it's going to really highlight that bad technique. The goal here, my microphone, for example, is pretty much in line with the middle of my chest, is to keep the chest quite stable. The body's just reacting to the swinging of the arm. So there's my left foot there, my right toe back here, and the goal is just to keep that flowing back and through, and there's the contact. So you see, I've kept the balance, and again, we're around about 30 foot away from the hole. So we've achieved what we wanted to do. And it's a really simple drill. If you are a golfer that finds themselves falling back off the shot regularly with any shot, just go to the practice round, even do this with like an A-time, and just feel like a 3/4 swing, left foot, instep in line with the front of the ball, chest in line with the middle of the ball there, keep the balance, back and through, and you'll start hitting the bottom of the ball, you'll start to see the elevation, and now you're gaining control of the golf ball, and that's what we're looking for. So that's drill number 1. That's from 50 yards. It's a 3.5 shot. We start doing that, you're going to start getting down more in 3. So here's what we're going to go and look at our second drill, which is now, if you get closer to the green, you're now 20 yards away. What would you do from there? So here's our second shot. It's just a 20-yard shot onto the green. And here's the good news. You saw drill 1. If you like to hit the slightly higher shot, You can still do the same drill for this with something like a gap wedge or a pitching wedge or anything like that. What we're going to show you is more of a chip and run type shot. So we're going to use something more like an 8-iron to get the idea of the shot from here. And let's go through the data to start with. So we talked about 3.5 from 50 yards. We've got a little bit closer. This is a 3.3 shot. So again, we have those 10 shots. 7 out of 10 you're going to get down in 3 now. That's the goal. That's what we need to be doing. And only 3 out of the 10 we're going to take 4. Ultimately, we want to do better than that because I want to get you better than 100, breaking 100. We want to do better than that if we can. But the idea of this shot is just to keep it simple. There's nothing in our way here. It's just a clear run through. And you can see from the conditions now here in the UK, we're now coming into July, everything is burnt to a cinder. We've had 3 months of really, really dry weather. So the importance is now is to realize, yeah, I can run this ball. There's nothing in my way. I don't need to go high. The greens here are good, so they are receptive if you land them on the green. But one of the things I see a lot of the time, people, oh, you can't stop it on this green. Well, if you don't land it on the green, it won't stop. If you land it on the hard, sort of sun-baked area, it'll take all the spin off, hit the lovely mown green, it'll run off the back of the green. This shot takes that out of the equation because now we're going to look at a shot that's just going to run onto the green. So we're not looking for a big swing. Now, the important thing is with this shot, we're going to hit it low. That's why we've chosen an 8-iron, and we're going to create a setup that also helps you to do that. So this is simply what I call the clap drill. And simply what I want you to do, if I said to you, naturally clap your hands, you would clap your hands in the middle of your body. And that's where I want to be. I want to get my middle of my body favouring the front of the ball. I don't want to be behind. So what I see a lot of people do on this shot is they think they've got to get their hands ahead of the ball and they'll play it off their front foot and they're into that position. Now, the club at that point is in the correct position, but relative to my body, that looks very awkward. When you watch a top player, his body will be over here. So if he claps his hands into this position, you can see ahead of the ball, and now just lets his hands go central, the ball is naturally slightly nearer the back foot. And that's going to encourage you to do 2 things. 1, hit the ball first, so you don't start hitting the ground first and losing energy. And 2, make the ball go forwards. Remember, mentally, that's what we're thinking. So the next bit is personal preference, but I would encourage it. Just grip down the club to where you feel your posture feels natural. And then just from there, just a gentle swing of the arms. What would be a good result from here? We're looking for anything really 30 feet would be a very good result. Anything better than that, you're doing better than breaking 100. So get ourselves into position. There's my clap position. Good, ahead of the ball. From there, hands ahead, and just like a long putting stroke, pop it forward onto the edge of the green. And now the ball runs down the green. And because we've got the weight really good there, we've probably ended up within 20 feet. So really, really nice shot. So let's do that again. So I want the ball back in my stance. I'm clapping my hands ahead of the ball. From there, narrow stance, not looking for power. Nice and balanced. You can just see it looks more of an arm swing. Just popping it forward. And there we are, comfortably inside our 30 feet. And the great thing with this is that unless you do what we said in the first one, where we don't keep that rhythm, we keep that force, it's very, very difficult to hit this one over the other side of the green because you won't feel that urge to try and help it up into the air. Okay, so that's our second drill. What we're going to look at now, we're going to go down and have a look at a bunker shot and create a drill that will help you to get that ball out of the bunker, because that's the most important thing we need to do if we're going to look to break 100. So our third shot is the bunker shot, and it's probably the one I think strikes the most fear into most golfers. And it's like no other shot that we play, because it's a shot you actually got to make a reasonably full swing, and you're not actually hitting the golf ball, you're hitting the sand behind it. And it's the explosion of the sand that will give you the result. So we're playing a shot out of this bunker. We're looking to hit back here, keep the club going through the sand, and the ball will come out of the bunker. So that's the idea of the shot. So what we're going to do with this drill to start with, and just to understand, to break 100, if you can get this ball down consistently under 4 shots from the bunker, you're ahead of the game. I know that sounds a lot, but get it out of the bunker. That's the main thing we're going to look to do, and this drill is going to help you to do it. So what you're going to do is we're looking, if we take a ball and place it in the sand, we want to hit roughly about a width of a ball behind it. So we're going to draw a line behind the ball there, and we want to come out a similar distance the other side. So what we've drawn in the sand here is 2 lines. Okay, now we're going to take the ball out of the equation, and we've made that line probably about nearly a metre long, okay, a yard long. and you're going to start at this end. And the goal is, once you've made your setup, can I hit the right hand line first? That's the most important thing. And can I get rid of all this sand and come out of the left line? So what I would look to do is line up so that the middle of it is pretty central, dig your feet in, and then just make a swing. And all you're going to look to do is hit the right line. Okay, now, as I look down, I can see I've taken out the sand, but I've come in a little bit behind it. Okay, so I just shuffle forward. That's why we've made it a little bit long. You can do 4 or 5 of these on this drill. Set up the same. So what I felt there as I got into it, I just leant back slightly, and that's why I took the sand back there. So I'm just going to keep a little bit more weight on my left side. Looking to hit the right hand line. Good. And we've gone through that a little bit better. Still slightly behind, but okay. But the most important thing here, there's 2 things. Hit the line, but make sure the club continues through. What I see a lot of golfers do when they're starting is they'll get there, they're trying to help out, and they'll do this. Okay, you've got to keep the club's momentum going through. So let's draw our lines again. Okay, bring myself in. That's in the center, the middle of the line center. Just dig my feet in a little bit for grip and to lower the arc of the swing. And then I'm just going to hit that right hand line. Good, that one's spot on. Now, if you've done it correctly a few times, then what you can do, if you've still got part of your line left, put a ball down and then just think, hit the line, take the sand underneath it. That's all you're looking to do. Create the shot, hit the line there, and you're out of the bunker. And that's your main thing. If you can get this on the green, it's giving you a great chance to get the result that you want. But it's just that simple 2-line drill. Set it up. Then roughly put a ball on the sand, draw a line about the width of the ball behind it on the right side as I look at it as the golfer, then a line in front, take the ball out of the equation, get in that practice bunker, work on that feeling of hitting that right hand line and take the sand out to the second line. Start doing that, the first thing you'll do, you'll start getting balls on that green. So here's our final shot of our 12 shots of golf, how to break 100 short game, and we're looking at putting. And we're looking at your average 2-putt. And amazingly, that's about 12 to 15 feet from the hole. So what we've set up here, our little drill is what I call a northeast-southwest drill. And we've just put 4 balls exactly that, sort of right angles all the way through. So we'll call this one south here, and we've placed it about 5 paces away from the hole. So we've got a south ball here, we've got a north there, and we're looking at our other 2 the other side there. And all you do, the goal is, can you get all 4 balls in the hole in 2 putts? That's all you're looking to do. If you can do that, you're winning. Okay, you are going to start breaking 100. This part of your game is good enough. And as you get better, just to give you some data, okay, as I said, this is going to take an average to get down in 2. If you're looking to be a single figure golfer, so somebody breaking 80, then you can take this out to 20 feet. And if you want the challenge of that already, that's not a bad thing to do, because putting's not a power side of the game. So you can work on that 20 feet and get the idea of what you're doing there. But in this situation, 12 feet. So we're looking at this, and the goal is also, it's very unlikely you're going to have 4 putts that will all be the same direction. They'll have a little bit of break on them. So some might be a little bit uphill, some will be a cross hill, downhill. So it gives you a little bit of variety of putts. But the goal is, can you roll that ball up close, tap it in, get your 2 putts. If you're doing that, you're going to break 100. From 12 to 15 feet, that's your number. So let's see if we can do it. So don't see a lot on this, probably just right edge on this putt. We're just looking to get the speed right, roll it up to the hole. There we go. On this occasion, we've rolled it in. Okay, and you can see the ball just turning a little bit to the left there. So if it's the low point there, it means that this one over here, if we move over, so we're now going to east, then if it was turning slightly to the left, this should be very slightly downhill. So we can use that. But the good thing is, why we're sticking with the length of putt, is it shouldn't be a dramatic change in the power that you're putting into it. Again, goal, can I 2-putt it? Roll it down, because I talked about it being downhill, didn't give it enough, but we're within a foot. Concentrate on that, knock it in. So job done. So we had a 1-putt and a 2-putt. Now, unless the green is very severe in its movements, the likelihood is it's going to move, as we set up to this, slightly left to right now, because it went right to left coming up the hill. So that's what we're looking for there. I'm going to aim left edge of the hole, see if we get that. So again, roll it down, get it down towards the hole. Didn't break, stayed pretty straight, but we're within a foot again. So we've done our challenge, done what we wanted to do. And again, it's just a drill. You're doing all 4 balls. And now this one should be fractionally uphill. So far we're doing really, really well. Get that ball rolling up to the hole. Job done. Again, I can get it within that foot, 18 inches, then hold the next putt, and we've done what we set out to do. So there we go. We've gone through our 4 shots. We're looking at the 50 yards, 20 yards, bunker shot, and the putting, and they're all showing you the data that you need to achieve to play to those levels. We've given you a drill for each, so hopefully that will help you to improve the technique of how you're playing each shot. But if you start to get consistent from 50 yards in, it'll make a massive difference to your game, help you to lower those scores, and in time, hopefully, you can start looking at my other videos which show you how to break 90, how to break 80, but please go and have a look at them, especially the putting ones and maybe the little chip and run type shots, because it gives you the opportunity to see on the less powerful shots, can you make that part of your game a little bit stronger, which will make it easier to break 100. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's gone through a few things there to help you get that score down. If you have, please share this with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel and press that little bell for notifications, as you'll get a video every Tuesday and Friday showing you new ideas of how we can get your scores lower. I look forward to seeing you soon.